Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Fish Market, where we teach you how to fish for gains. So before I start, just wanted to congratulate all Luna holders, because we just broke new all-time highs, and I think we're now around $30, so let's see how high Luna can actually go. Alright, so in this video, we're going to be talking about Pylon Protocol, which I think is a pretty unique and awesome protocol. It's like the next generation of payments. Quick disclaimer, I bought mine at essentially 1 cent, so it has since 20x already, because it's now around 20 cents. So this video is not meant to for you to FOMO in or ape in at this price, because you are like taking on maximum risk at this price. It's not to FUD as well. Just wanted to make sure that everybody do their own due diligence before deciding on what to invest, because this video is not financial advice. It's an educational video. So what is Pylon Protocol? Pylon Protocol is basically built on top of Anchor Protocol stable yields, which is giving you about 20% APY on your UST. So essentially, Pylon uses the 20% APY on the UST that you provide and uses it in a number of different ways to provide for investments in new projects or to basically help you to pay for payment subscriptions. So in simple terms, you essentially deposit now and you pay never, because you are using the interest that you generate from the yield to pay for the subscriptions, and therefore you're not really paying it, so your capital remains protected in a way. So just a quick fun fact, Pylon is actually something that came from StarCraft. It's basically the supply building that powers nearby structures and serves as a prerequisite to construct other units. And it's a pretty appropriate name for the Launchpad, as it supplies these new Launchpad projects with power, or essentially money. And the saying when in StarCraft, when you need to build more stuff and you don't have enough Pylon, they will say you must construct additional Pylon. Yeah, so basically you got to buy more mine if you want to construct more stuff. And this part is the joke. No, it's not financial advice. Please don't buy more mine just because of that joke. Okay, so the Pylon suite basically consists of 3 different products. You have the Pylon Gateway, which is the Launchpad, where you go to deposit into the different Launchpad projects. And then you have the Pylon web app, where you can actually buy and sell mine and stake mine, as well as provide liquidity with the MINE-UST pair. And then they also have a Pylon widget, which is coming soon, and that's basically the widget that allows people to accept Pylon integration to basically use it to pay for their subscriptions. Pylon is also one of the projects from Terraform Labs, so it's a flagship project inside the Terra ecosystem, so it's pretty safe and secure in terms of using it, as well as there's also a lot of audits that has been done. Okay, so the Pylon Gateway is the first Launchpad built and shipped on Terra, and it's basically made of 2 tools, the Pylon Pools for deposit and Pylon Swap. So the live projects right now is Loop Finance as well as Mine, and the upcoming projects on the Pylon Gateway include Nebula Protocol, which is somewhat like a ETF or index creation protocol, where they would basket up a couple of different assets and then you can just buy that basket of assets. So like imagine the FANG index on Mirror, that could be like a index on Nebula, and then if you want to get exposure to all the FANG assets, you can just buy that FANG asset of sorts inside Nebula Protocol. So that's pretty interesting, and it should be very helpful for the price of Mirror and for the whole Mirror ecosystem as well. And then you also have Terra World, which is like the first NFT platform for like the Terra metaverse. So that's pretty exciting as well. And that starts 22nd August, which is this Sunday if you're watching this video as soon as it uploads. So just to give an illustration on how the Pylon Launchpad works, essentially when you deposit UST into Pylon, Pylon takes that and then stakes it into the Anchor Protocol for a stable yield of around 20% APY. And this yield is essentially used to continuously buy the new project tokens at IEO prices. AKA these are like risk-free investments, because you're not using your initial deposit to buy, you're just using the yield that you get from the Anchor Protocol to buy the Launchpad tokens. So here's another Launchpad example, and that's Loop Finance, which is already live on the Pylon Gateway for people to invest in. Loop is essentially an AMM swap DEX, which is similar to Terra Swap, but instead of Terra Swap being paired with UST, most of Loop Finance assets will be paired with Loop tokens. So for example, you have your Luna, it will be Luna Loop, it will be like M Asset Loop. And this is very similar to Rune, which is a project on the Tor chain, which is also built on the Cosmos ecosystem. So it's quite interesting to see how this will do. There are usually different pools in Pylon, and the different pools have different APR and different locking periods. So for example, the higher APR pool at 24% APR has a lock-in period of 9 months, and then a total vesting of 18 months. So you lock for 9 months, and then after that you can start to earn or start to claim your tokens, but you need to wait for an additional 9 more months, so total 18 months, for you to fully claim all your tokens. And then for those that are more conservative and want their token faster, you can go for like pool 3, where you only need to lock for 3 months, and then after that in another 3 more months, so total 6 months, you can get all your claims, but you earn a lot less at 6.1% APR. Do note that this APR is basically on the price of Loop Finance. So if Loop Finance does go up very quickly after this launch, then your APR will technically go up as well, in the sense that you are earning the Loop Finance token that is going up in value. Yep. Okay, and the next tool is basically Pylon Swap. And this is basically like a simple swap where you swap your UST for the launch token at the launch price. So very straightforward. And the tokens will usually be locked up for a specific vesting period. And this is the Pylon web app. This is the place where you can actually buy and stake your mine and then actually provide liquidity for MINE-UST. And you can also participate in governance once you stake your mine token, and you can claim airdrops as well. And all of this stuff will be down in the description below, so you can take a look for all these useful links. Okay, and here is why you want to stake mine. There is a chance for airdrops of tokens launching on Pylon, so this is project to project, and they may or may not announce beforehand, so that's really up to the project themselves. And you also get extra mine from staking, but it's really low right now at 1.21% APR, so it's not really recommended. You're much better off providing LP for MINE-UST if you don't want to participate in any of the launches and just want to earn from the liquidity provision fees. So the important thing for most people is that it provides you with an incentive when new projects launch on Pylon, because you get to buy more tokens at the launch price if you have more mine stake. So you can see for the Terra World launch, basically if you have more mine, if you have 10,000 mine, you can buy 200,000 TWD. But if you have 100,000 mine, you can actually buy 1 million TWD. So you can see if you have more mine staked, you can actually buy more of the launch tokens. So here's why you want to LP mine. LP stands for liquidity provision, so that means you provide liquidity for mine and USD pair. Right now you earn about 180% APR in mine token, which is pretty high, and if you stake this in Spectrum, you actually get about 500% APY, which is pretty awesome. So that's some of the reasons why you might want to buy mine token to actually provide liquidity on it to earn the revenue and the fees. In terms of the payment widget, the planned release is on Q3 2021, and this opens up possibilities for Pylon to be used by businesses like content creators, artists, etc. to basically integrate their subscriptions with Pylon, so people can use Pylon to pay for the subscription without actually paying for it, because they're just using the yield generated to pay for the subscription. So businesses can actually provide their subscriptions for free in a way, which is pretty awesome. So this is how it works, and it's very similar to the Pylon Launchpad. Essentially, you deposit UST into Pylon, and Pylon uses the Anchor protocol to generate yield, and this interest earned from the deposit can be used to cover subscription fees. So for example, let's say Netflix is currently charging about, let's just put it as $100 a year. And we know that the yield for the Anchor is about 20% a year. So if you want to get free Netflix subscription, assuming Netflix partners with Pylon, essentially you take the subscription fee annually divided by the APY, so $100 divided by 20%, and that gives you about $500, and that's all you need to deposit into Netflix Pylon integration, and you get free Netflix subscription for life, assuming the Anchor protocol stays at 20% APY. So that's pretty awesome, and you can imagine this being extended to many other services and subscriptions as well. And Delphi Digital is actually trying to work with Sabera to enable the recurring Delphi Digital subscriptions to be paid with UST. And Delphi Digital being one of the leading research companies in crypto, this is pretty big deal in terms of the feasibility of Pylon's model, as well as how this could potentially cause Luna to continue to go up as well. And in terms of the value accrual of the MINE token, Pylon captures a portion of the total protocol assets under management, or AUM, with the MINE token. So at least 10% of the interest and revenues generated across all Pylon projects and platforms will accrue directly to MINE via token buybacks. So all the projects launching on Pylon and all of these deposits that's being sent to Pylon to actually buy these Launchpad tokens, 10% of all those interest and revenue generated will just automatically be used to buy back MINE token, and that's how MINE token can keep going up as more and more people deposit into these Launchpad projects. Additionally, 20% of all yields generated on the Pylon Gateway will fuel buybacks for MINE stakers as well. After a couple more projects, I might do a future video on how much revenue is generated through the Pylon protocol as well, and then we can see the price to sales ratio of Pylon protocol and all that, and see whether how over or undervalued Pylon protocol actually is. A quick run through on Pylon Tokenomics. Essentially, there's 10 billion MINE tokens, so that's billion with a B. And if we go over to the market cap, right now it's 59 million. But in terms of the fully diluted valuation across a 4-year inflation schedule, we're looking at about a 2 billion fully diluted valuation with a current price of 20 cents. So that seems pretty high if you compare it with other launchpad platforms like Trust Swap or DAOmaker. So DAOmaker is quite a popular one nowadays. But none of them is as innovative as Pylon, and Pylon is essentially the only one in Terra right now. But whether this premium is justifiable is something that time will tell. Honestly, Pylon protocol is still pretty new. All of these other platforms have been out for months, so the price and the market cap have time to find the market equilibrium. And right now is Luna season, so a lot of Luna applications prices can go parabolic. So just wanted to put things into perspective about the valuation of MINE protocol. But I also wouldn't be too worried because the inflation schedule is over 4 years, and that's a lot of time, so we won't be worried about overinflating the MINE protocol and people just keep farming and dumping it down to oblivion. But it's just something to take note of in terms of risk management. So here are some reasons why you should use Pylon. For project owners, it's a great way to kickstart your project and acquire funding. And for investors, you can be early investor of a startup with a very high potential for growth without much risk because you're just using your interest generated from your capital to buy into those new projects. And for businesses, the Pylon widget can be a very good way to actually bridge between the Terra ecosystem and your business, allowing you to get new additional streams of revenue. So for example, if you are someone that is talking about crypto often, or maybe even if you're not talking about crypto but you offer certain services and subscriptions, you can actually offer payments in UST using the Pylon widget, and therefore you get a new customer base and new ways of getting revenue. And in terms of competitors, there is Star Terra, which is launching soon, and it's basically a gamified launchpad for Terra. And then there is Sabera, which is a payment widget for Anchor. It's basically the payment widget portion of Pylon protocol. So I might cover this in a future video once they're out and more details are known. Okay, so in conclusion, Pylon is another one of the key pillar protocols in Terra. So we have Mirror, which generated a lot of demand for UST. I think there's about 2 billion UST or so locked inside Mirror, and that created a lot of interest into the whole Terra ecosystem. And then soon after that, they launched Anchor protocol, which is a savings platform, another one of the key pillars. And then right now, Terraform Labs launched Pylon protocol, and that's also another key pillar that I see because of their payment widget and their launchpad and things like that. And I basically think that this will continue to generate very strong demand for UST, which would translate to more Luna being burnt. So definitely Luna, I don't think the bull run is anywhere near its top. I think Luna can keep going up due to how much more potential for people to actually want to buy UST to participate in all of these cool and innovative products that the Terra ecosystem is building. So in terms of Pylon and MINE, I think as more and more use cases and more businesses use Pylon protocol for their innovative deposit now and pay never type of strategy, I think it probably will continue to gain popularity. So just a disclaimer again, do not ape into MINE after watching this video without doing your due diligence and managing your risk. So if you found this video useful, do remember to like and subscribe, which would really help the channel, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye!
Baby fish, do 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 do. Baby fish, do 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 do. Baby fish, do do